Here's my review on Crown Jewel Perth 2025. Now, this was an amazing event. The whole weekend was just honestly fun. I enjoyed it. It was a good time. This is probably one of the better events of the year. Honestly, that's including WrestleMania. The matches were stacked. One of the best last matches of John Cena and AJ Styles' international careers. If you guys do enjoy this video, be sure to like, subscribe. I always try and upload wrestling content. I'm trying to be on more of a schedule. Please hit that subscribe button and ding dong that bell. And yeah, you'll see when I upload next. Getting into it, first off, we had the OTC versus the OTT, which is the original Tribal Thief. This match was a crazy way to start off Crown Jewel. Like, it was pretty well unexpected. Honestly thought Rio and Kabuki Warriors would be the first match, but turns out this started off with Roman Reigns absolutely beating the crap out of Bronson Reed. This match was crazy. Now, a lot of us didn't know what to expect when it come to an Australian street fight. To be honest, as an Aussie, I didn't even have a clue either. I thought it could have had anything. Like, it could have had didgeridoos, boomerangs, footballs, I don't know, anything. Vegemite, who would know? But essentially, this was supposed to be a match that Bronson Reed made famous. It was a really, really good match, but I also feel like it didn't really hold up to what an Australian street fight was. And throughout the match, they used AFL footballs, rugby footballs. Roman Reigns picked up a cricket bat at one stage and tried to hit Bronson Reed for 6. It was a little bit chaotic, but to be honest, when Roman Reigns did his entrance, I've never seen so many ones go up into the sky. It was pretty wild. Tables were brought out because, literally not even kidding, the second that the match started, everyone started chanting tables. Halfway, maybe a little bit over through the match, they brought out the tables. Another weapon they used was actually a stop sign. I don't know where Bronson Reed got a stop sign from. It obviously come from under the ring, but who thought that a stop sign was a good thing? Anyway, basically told Roman to stop abusing him. Basically stopped Roman from hitting him, which was pretty interesting. After a bit of back and forth, Bronson rolls out of the ring and is up against the barricade, to which Roman Reigns thinks, you know what, this is a really good time. I'm going to put him straight through the barricade. As Roman is running to put him through the barricade, Bronson Reed literally comes out of nowhere, jumps fucking halfway across the mat, and spears Roman Reigns. When I say the amount of barking and woofs that come out of the crowd as soon as Bronson Reed showed up, it was absolutely wild. I was so happy. But obviously, the bloodline has to get involved at this stage, and obviously the Usos come out to save him. Come down, hit a few super kicks on Bronson, hit a few super kicks on Breaker, hit the Uso splash, also managed to hit the 1D. Now, as the match is coming to a close, Roman is about to chuck Bronson Reed through the table and then pin. But at the last second, Bron Breaker grabs Bronson Reed, moves him out of the road, and Jey Uso spears Roman through the table. This causes more fractures in the bloodline, obviously, as Roman gets tsunamied and then pinned. What could only follow was like a good couple minutes of just Roman basically saying that they are uninvited to the Thanksgiving party. Just seems to be a lot more tension there. Moving on to the Tiffany versus Stephanie match. Now, I'm not going to say much about this match. Pretty much as what I expected. Tiffy losing to Stephanie Vaquer. This is probably one of the cleaner matches I've seen in a champion versus championship match. No foul play at all. Just honestly good wrestling. It was still a good match, but obviously the downfall of Tiffany's reign. The crowd doing the Booker T, Devil's Kiss type R's was just absolutely wild. Moving on to the AJ Styles and Cena match. Now, I thought for sure they would leave this match until the second last match. I knew it wouldn't be the main event, but I feel like this should have been the second last match, if not could have been the main event, because this match was just, oh my God. I still believe that this match, in my opinion, because it was so much nostalgia, was on the same par as Cody Rhodes beating Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 40 Night 2. I'm going to stand by that. I think a lot of other people will. The crowd was absolutely insane, and the moves that they pulled off in this match was just absolutely wild. To actually start off the match, we had obviously John Cena come out, the never seen 17 versus the face that runs the place, Mr. TNA, AJ Styles. Obviously, they gave the speech for John Cena, as he always does when he comes out now, the never seen 17. John Cena actually wrote a speech for Alicia Taylor to give to AJ Styles when he jumped into the ring. And it was actually really cool. And obviously, with AJ Styles wearing his old TNA trunks, which I don't think a lot of people would have seen. But this match just literally gave off so much nostalgia. The amount of moves that they actually pulled off was absolutely wild. Some to name, we had the Sister Abigail obviously paying tribute to Bray Wyatt. We had an RKO. The crowd even chanted for a 619 that almost happened. And Rey Mysterio also reposted on Instagram saying AJ Styles, why'd you bail out? We had the dead shot from AJ Styles, which was a move that Adam Page has used. Angel wings that Christopher Daniels used back in TNA. There was just so many. The only one that I didn't see AJ pull off was the spiral tap, which I think a lot of people would have thought he would have done. It was announced at the pre-show on the Friday that AJ Styles' last time in WWE will be next year, and he will be set to retire. It's probably his last time in Australia, which I think was actually confirmed at the Melbourne show. So this was his last time in Australia for both John Cena and AJ Styles. If you want to watch a nostalgic match and you've watched wrestling and have fallen off for a little bit and you somehow found my video, go watch that match. Crown Jewel Perth, halfway through. It's honestly just a really nostalgic match. Then moving on to the Rio versus Kabuki Warriors match. In my opinion, this was probably the worst match on the card. It wasn't great. It was very, very mid. In my opinion, nothing really happened that was significant. No poison mist, no like straight set victory over like one opponent. It was just like, it was honestly probably the worst match of the night. That's all I'm going to say. Now into the main event where you've got Cody versus Seth. Now, earlier on in the night, B&B Security weren't allowed because Paul Heyman said we're really going to find out who the better champion is. So Breaker and Reed weren't going to go down and interfere with the match. Essentially, this match was really, really good. Pacing, everything. It was a really, really good match. It definitely added to the Vision story a little bit because Seth had to win. It was Seth's destined to beat Cody finally, as Cody was 3-0 against Seth. I think this also closes out the chapter for Cody versus Seth for the time being, as Seth finally has got his one-up on him. Obviously, he had to use the WrestleMania watch, the WrestleMania 40 watch, to beat Cody after blindsiding the ref and then punching him. But we believe Seth also got injured. He injured his shoulder when going for that headbutt coast-to-coast on Cody Rhodes. Seeing this live was cool. The angle that we were sitting at, it didn't really look like he injured himself because he kind of landed and we didn't really see it. But like after going back and reviewing the show, yeah, he definitely landed on that back. I don't know. I think he's actually honestly injured himself. As much as the ruse was for his leg, he actually legitimately looks like he's hurt his arm. So it'll be interesting. Unless he's trying to con us again, but I fully believe that he's actually injured himself. Honestly, great match. Enjoyed it. Very fun. Moving on to the Raw. I didn't do SmackDown because I didn't really, I just sat there and watched SmackDown. I didn't write any notes down pretty much for it. But moving on to Raw. Obviously, the Vision open up the show, come out. Seth Rollins calls Ozzy a bunch of wankers, and then we literally start chanting, "We are wankers," which was interesting. But Seth basically goes on a huge tangent saying that he never needed Bronson, and he never needed Breaker, and he never needed Paul Heyman to accomplish this, which he didn't, to be fair. Breaker's really not happy at all. He's very, very tense. Move on about with the rest of the show. We had Dom versus Penta. That was a good match. Rizzo come out towards the end, and Dom bailed out of the ring and left Penta to deal with him. Penta dealt with him, come back, and then Dom had a weapon and hit Penta and then won. Pretty much similar to how Eddie won with the baton. That's literally the way that Dom won, and it was very genius. And I'm glad he's leaning more into this Eddie gimmick. It's very good. Then later on, we have Rusev announce that he's the one that's actually going to be facing Dom next week for the Intercontinental Championship. That probably would have already happened by the time this video's already come up. Next up, we had Rhea versus Kairi. Honestly, free Kairi at this point. I think before the match, they had a little segment, and basically Asuka was disappointed in her and actually slapped her again. This match, much like the Crown Jewel match, nothing really happened. Rhea picked up the victory. Io did a little bit of interference, and then basically Kabuki Warriors just attacked them. Rhea was actually going to put Asuka through the table, and it just didn't happen, and Asuka ended up hurting her, and then they got broken. Honestly, this feud's it's interesting. There's just no proper boiling point for it, and I think it needs a bit more work. Then we had Bronson Reed versus Jimmy. Another backstage segment with Jimmy and Jay. Jay started talking about facing Gunter and then him losing his world title to Gunter because he strictly got back into bloodline business. And this caused Jimmy Uso to crash out and say that maybe we should go our separate ways. And then he said, "I'm going to be able to handle Bronson Reed by myself. Don't you worry about that." Then cut to the match, and Jimmy Uso gets his shit absolutely pushed in by Bronson Reed. Then Breaker comes out, attacks Jimmy, which causes Jey Uso to come out. Jay comes out to save Jimmy, and then there's more tension. Keeps bubbling over, even though Jey Uso's got a match later on tonight with CM Punk and LA Knight. Next, we had a fun overall match with Bailey and Lyra. Honestly, I think it's crazy that they're leaning into Bailey having two personalities and Lyra actually finally figuring out how to wake that side up in Bailey by like slapping her mid-match and then seeing her like go a little bit crazy and tap into that side and then, beat the absolute shit out of the Judgment Day. It was pretty funny. We'll see how long it lasts before maybe Bailey, quote unquote, turns on Lyra or Lyra maybe turns on Bailey. It'll be interesting to see. I'd love to see them go on and win the tag team gold against Charlotte and Alexa. It'd be interesting. So then we had the number one contender match for the World Heavyweight Championships, which was CM Punk, LA Knight, and Jey Uso. Before this match even started, we had the entrance. We had Jey Uso come out of the crowd, which was like maybe a couple doors over from where we actually was. Absolutely fun experience to have. Honestly, fun atmosphere to be in. It was so fun. Then we had LA Knight come out. Everyone did the yeah type thing. It was crazy. Loved that too. Then CM Punk come out. Now, I went to AEW Grand Slam at the start of the year, and the whole crowd, the crowd, sang Edge's theme song. As soon as it cut off, we sang the entire theme song for like maybe 30 seconds to 45 seconds with no music, and Edge absolutely loved it. We seem to do the same thing with CM Punk. As soon as it finished, we just kept singing it. What is it with Australian crowds and just knowing the anthem? It's crazy. It's almost like international crowds for wrestling or like any big event is just better. Like, it's crazy. I'm sorry, America, but like us Aussies and like the UK and France and all of them, we just seem to know how to do chants better. Even if some of them are a little bit recycled, we still know how to do them better. The match itself was very well placed. Obviously, anyone could have won, in my opinion, but it was CM Punk that actually come out on top. We all thought, oh, that's the end of Raw. That was a really good way to end it. Very good way to top off the weekend. We're finished. It's cool. Burn it down! Of course, the Vision have to actually show up, take out CM Punk, take out everyone else, and then, stand over the top of them because, it's not Raw without that. They come out, stood tall, credits played. They're like, cool, it's it, it's over. Aussie Heat, who I went to the show with, he's standing next to me, still recording, and he notices that Breaker kind of like walks back to the edge of the ring, and he's like, is something happening here? And I'm like, huh? What? I look up, and Bron Breakker spears Seth Rollins. When I say the camera in that video and also in the show don't do it justice of how much the audience actually gasped when that happened. It was absolutely wild. The atmosphere after that happened was, holy shit, it was deafening. It was absolutely wild. And I'm very surprised that they have already done that. Obviously, me saying before that Seth was injured, I think that's why they sort of moved it up a bit more. But like, oh my God, the atmosphere there was just crazy once that happened. And I'm not even kidding. After the show ended, we left pretty quickly after that happened because, we wanted to upload the footage and all this sort of stuff. We walked out, went across the road from RAC Arena and then started walking back to our hotel. And all up the street, all we could hear was hoo, 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 hoo. Everyone doing the Bron Breakker, like, wolf barking sound. It was absolutely wild. And I'm pretty sure they kept doing that all the way through the city up until people went to bed, which was absolutely wild. A very good way to end the weekend, and I was very, very happy with it. Guess we will find out on Raw what is the go with Seth, whether he's actually legitimately injured, whether he's going to have to relinquish the title. I feel like Punk's probably going to have to say something there to us on Raw. Yeah, that pretty much concludes my whole Crown Jewel weekend. It was probably one of the best wrestling experiences of my life. Yeah, it was just honestly a fun ass time. They did another weekend like that, but like somewhere in Sydney or Melbourne or Brisbane, I would love it, but I don't think I could see myself going to Perth again. Even though that show was probably once in a lifetime, I don't think I'll, just because it's way too much. It costs way too much. If you guys enjoy, hit the like, subscribe, follow me on my socials, and yeah, see you guys in the next one.